birthday party. A birthday party for a baby, a birthday party for a king, birthday party for everyone. Everyone's invited to this birthday party. And it reminds me of the birthday parties that we had when I was little. You know, like there was no like seclusion. It was like, everyone, it's my birthday! You know, come on down to my house, my mom's baking a cake. Like there weren't invitations. It was just like everybody come to the party. There was big kids and small kids. Anybody who wanted a free piece of birthday cake, you know, play Red Rover on the front yard. It was very uncomplicated. You know, even the kids that you didn't like, you're like, come on over! It's my birthday! Because you knew that even from the kids that you didn't like, you could get a present. You know what I mean? Exclude that. And the kids who didn't like you, like they were like, I could get a free piece of cake. Let's just do it. So it was always a win-win. And that's the kind of birthday that Jesus has. You know, Jesus, I like to say, is public domain. He was born in the public. He was born in a manger. And to come to his birth, you didn't have to have a special handshake or VIP. You didn't have to do anything. You could be a king, so you could have all the money in the world, or you could have no money at all. Neither of those things excluded you. You know, you could be the king, you could be a shepherd boy, you could be a donkey and be at his birthday. You literally could be a jackass and be invited to the party. We laugh at that you could be a jackass and be at the birthday party, but the truth is that's kind of serious. It's really a serious call to action. Because right now, we need to return to our innocence, and our true way of being is everybody come to the party. I don't know if you've noticed, but the world is fractured. Fractured in our communities, fractured in our minds, and we're segregating and we're doling out our love in thimble sizes, and it's like, what are we doing here? It's like, we got to get back to everybody come to the party. I don't care if you're a jackass. I don't care if you're a donkey. You know, just come. We've had too many conditions and stipulations on our love. And Jesus was famous for his teaching that said unconditional love. Simple. It was so simple. Love one another. He didn't say love the ones that are black, love the ones who are white, love the ones who are Jewish or Christian. He didn't say, you know, love the ones who love a certain way or don't love a certain way, or those who vote a certain way. And yet that's what we're stepping into, loving a certain way. And when it comes to love, there's no conditions, or else it's not love. So we think, God, really? I gotta love the donkeys? I got no love for donkeys, man. Because don't you know the donkeys are ruining the world? They're shitting on everything, right? So, how can we love the donkeys? And so instead of loving them, what we do is we hand over our peace of mind to them. And we build an altar to them. And we say, here, take my peace of mind. Let me genuflect to you on a daily basis. And I'm going to make you my God. And I'm going to keep track of all the ways that you're shitting on everything. And now instead of looking at the Christ child, I'm looking at the donkeys. And I'm running around town telling everybody about the donkeys. No one stole our peace of mind. We give it over. We literally have given over. And when we give away our peace of mind, we give away everything. And if I hand over my power, I do not have to take responsibility for my own brilliance. So it's great. It's kind of like a lose-lose instead of a win-win. We get this baby in the manger, this brilliant teacher of love. And he loves everyone unconditionally. He loves the adulteress. He loves the oppressed. He loves the socially shunned. He loves the kings. He loves the poor. He loves the people who are going to kill him. He loves them all. So he's this great example of fearless love. But he's not a great exception. He says that this and greater things can you do. But as long as we say, no, he's the great exception, then we create a pedestal. And we put him up on a pedestal, and we say, he's our Savior, and we're not worthy, and we give ourselves permission to fall short of not living up to that Christ consciousness that lives within us, that is available to each and every single one of us, that is audacious, that is impeccable, that is unconditional. Really, now's the time. Now the world needs it more than ever for us to fill in the cracks and crevices, these fractured places, to do it with love, not with fear, not with judgment, to do it with audacious love. With love, all things are possible. That's what this master teacher is telling us. This and greater things shall you do. He's saying it to you, to you. This and greater things shall you do. Can you imagine that? So the story, before we do the little drummer boy, I wanted to just dip into the nativity story because it teaches us so much about our potential. First of all, we have this mother Mary. This angel comes to her and says, you're going to give birth to the light of the world. And at first she says, I don't even know how that's supposed to happen. And the angel's like, don't worry about the details. and we're going to take care of that. Like, the Holy Spirit's going to make all of this possible. And she said, okay, let it be done unto me. So what she teaches us is that when we meet up against a situation that's baffling, we don't have to delve into the details of it. We could simply activate that impeccable faith that she demonstrates and says, okay, surrender it to it. Let it be done unto me. You know, when we let go and we let God, we really do get to experience an audacious way of how the universe shows up for us in signs and synchronicities, as they showed up for Mary as she traveled to Bethlehem. So her teaching for us is faith, is impeccable faith. Then the next archetype is Joseph. And Joseph was, first of all, Mary was not an exception. She was an example. You too could have that kind of faith by just practicing saying, let it be done unto me. You know, let me be guided step by step. A healed mind doesn't plan. And though it's good to have plans, it's also good to kind of let go of plans and step into the grand plan with God. Because that way we don't block the plans of God. Sometimes we get our plan, we're like, God, this is how it's going to go down. You know, God's like, why? It's so much better to do it my way. You know, so we get to kind of like feel into, can I surrender this plan and imagine something even greater than my best planning? So again, Joseph is not an exception either. When Mary comes to him and says, look, I'm going to deliver a child into the world that is the light of the world, he doesn't really question it. He just shows up like a warrior. And I remember last Christmas I was saying, the eloquent nature with which he extended his love to Mary, and those words that are written in our hearts that we will remember forever that Jesus spoke that day to Mary when she said, I'm going to deliver a light into the world. Do you remember what those words were? It's my joke. No, because he didn't say anything. He just showed up. His showing up was a demonstration of his love. You know, he put his love into action. So that's a great example for us. Like, how can I cut out all the babbling about what I'm going to do or what you're going to do and just step into it and just show up like a warrior? What he also demonstrates for each of us, which is incredible, is he is an impeccable midwife. He's an incredible and impeccable midwife. When you have a concept that's been given to you by grace and you start to move out into the world, you want to find a couple Josephs for yourself and you want to say, like, Joseph, guess what? My friend, I'm going to call Joseph, I got this concept. I have no idea how it's going to get done, but I'm going to let it be done unto me. And if you pick correctly, that Joseph will just say, I got this. You know, I'm going to hold the consciousness for you and help you deliver this to the world without having to put my name on it. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, I don't have to grab it back from you. I don't have to twist it and change it. I'm just going to stand by your side and let you deliver this. Like, can we be that for each other?
Amen.
Yeah. We can. We can be that for each other. We can be midwives for each other so that when someone brings you a holy concept, you can say, yes, you got this. And I'm just going to hold the space for you knowing that it's done. Because it's done unto you as you believe, and I'm going to hold that for you. And you are going to breathe through this and deliver this. So Joseph's teaching for us is this amazing showing up. A willingness to play the part without question. Right? A willingness to play the part without question. That is also a symbol of unconditional love. Well, I could tell you all the symbols or interpretations of the other characters, but like I said, Al wanted me to tell the drummer boy. And the little drummer boy is one of my favorite characters in this story. You know, and so the little drummer boy, he is a symbol of innocence. And he is the symbol of impeccable dedication to your heart. Impeccable dedication to your art. And when he was in his mother's belly, he heard her heart. And he fell in love with that pitter-patter. And he was like, what is that? And he started to harmonize with this pitter-patter of his mother's heart. And he was drumming and banging and thumping and tapping and drumming and banging and thumping and tapping and drumming and banging and tapping and thumping. And it's no wonder that when he was finally ready to be born, his mother was like, thank you, God. So he's born out into the world, but his birth does not put an end to his rhythmic ways. He just continues to bump and thump and drum all over the place. And, you know, and he's drumming and he's thumping and he says to his parents, I want to drum. And they say, no, you're not a drummer boy, you're a shepherd boy. And he's like, what? No, you need to see me for who I am. And they're like, yeah, we see you for who you are. You're a shepherd boy, we're shepherd people, this is how it's going to go down. But he can't contain himself. So he continues to drum all over the place. He drums on his mother's head. He drums on the kitchen table. He thumps on his dad's shoe. And he drives him crazy. And he continues to beg and bang and beg and bang until his parents give in and they buy him this drum. And this drum is huge. They're like, get him a big one so he can grow into it. So this drum is huge. And that's how he got to be the little drummer boy, because he was like this huge drum and this little kid. And when he first picked up the drum and he strapped it on, he was so happy. But he literally fell over and toppled over on himself. He did it by himself, and he didn't want to tell anybody. He was very embarrassed, but he was like, I'm going to find the weight and the courage and the fire within me to carry this drum. And so he continues to work out and to get strong and to carry this mission that he has to be this drummer boy. And he begins to drum all over the place, and he becomes known as the little drummer boy. And everyone in his town knows him by who he is. So one day he tells everybody, if you ever have a party or an event, I'm your guy. And one day he hears about this birthday party, and it's a birthday party for a king. And he's like, oh my gosh, I'm going to be there. I got a drum. I got a drum for the king. This is going to be great. This is going to put me on the charts. And but nobody could tell him how to get to the party. They were all saying like, follow a star, follow a star. And this star is symbolic of that internal light, that internal compass that continues to call us forward into a greater idea of ourselves. And so the little drummer boy just trusted. He has that impeccable trust, and he goes out and he starts to walk his way while following the star. And there comes a point in his journey where he gets really scared and he thinks, I don't know where I'm going. As soon as he starts to doubt, a cloud comes over the star and he feels completely afraid and alone. And he's standing in the middle of this path, halfway there and halfway from home, and he feels like he's already left his family and that he can't go either way. He's scared to death. But what happens is he remembers who he is and he starts to drum. And he starts to drum, and his drumming brings him clarity, and as he continues to drum, the light comes back and clarity comes. And this is just another symbol for us to remember to stay true to that inner compass. So he starts to, he keeps walking, he finally gets to this manger. And that's where the star ends, and it's above this manger. And there's donkeys there, and he's like, no, this cannot be correct. A king has a birthday party with donkeys? So as he gets a little bit closer, he starts to see that there are actual other kings there. And he's like, oh my gosh, there are actual kings at this party. And he starts to move up to the party, and he's like, all of a sudden that doubt comes back, and he's like, who am I? Who do I think I am to show up at this birthday party with literal kings here? And he's standing on the circumference of this beautiful birthday, and he watches the first king, and the king brings the baby myrrh. And the drummer boy's like, myrrh? What the hell is myrrh? He doesn't know, but it must be something magnificent for the birth of this new child, because it's from a king. And he watches the myrrh get set down, and then he sees the next king come, and the king brings frankincense. And again, he's like, what is frankincense? And the little baby just nods at the frankincense. And then the next king comes, and this king delivers gold. Gold. I mean, everybody knows what gold is. And at this, the drummer boy thinks, I gotta get the hell out of here. I'm at the wrong party. And he begins to creep backwards, and he almost goes to turn when, just by chance, the Blessed Mother catches his eye. She catches his eye and she gives him the noble nod. If you've ever been in Ireland, or if you're a musician, you know the noble nod. You know what the noble nod means. It's your time. Step in. Come on. Deliver. So the little drummer boy, everyone turns to him and he's, oh my gosh, I have to start playing my drum, I guess, because that's all I got. That's all I have. And so at first, the drummer boy plays from a place of fire. This fire rises within him, and he plays from a place of fiery conviction of, I gotta hold my own. I will. Not only will I play my drum, but he says, I will play my best for you. So that's a fiery affirmation. Now, he just went from I am nothing to I am everything, right? Which is a good thing to move to. But even eventually, the drummer boy has to get to the place of letting go I will and move into thy will. And that magic moment happens when the baby smiles at him. And the baby smiles at him. The baby didn't smile at the myrrh, the frankincense, or the gold. The baby smiled at this beautiful song emanating from this other Christ child, because he was in his Christ consciousness. And then it was God meeting God. And then there was a holy moment. And then the little drummer boy played from a place of love. Can you imagine that? When we get to play from a place of love. You ever play your drum? You ever do what lights you up? You know, working with kids or working with horses or working musician, and all of a sudden you look out and you see that the world is smiling back at you in joy and appreciation for what you do, and then all of a sudden it's like the Grinch and your heart grows 10 times bigger, and you're like, oh my God, I get to do this, and you get to like it, and now it's like a win-win-win-win-win. I mean, that's it. That's the possibility. That's when we activate that inner Christ child that's like, it can be this good? Yeah, it can be this good. So the little drummer boy experiences that, and then the next thing that happens is one of my favorite things that happens in this story. So the next thing that happens is that the ox and lamb kept time. And do you know what that means when the ox and lamb kept time? That means that the whole world, all of nature, is conspiring to support the song of the little drummer boy. And it's funny when you think about it, because when I think about it, I think the ox. And what comes to my mind is, oh, you big ox. And when you think of the lamb, you think, oh, you little lamb. And yet you have these two different energies working together. You have the strength of the ox, you have the gentleness of the lamb. These things could be considered the love and the law, or the law and the love. They have to work together. And when you can get those things, two things to work together on your behalf, your way is made clear. Your path is made true. There is nothing that can stop you when you have both love and law working together. So for those of you that don't understand love and law, law is the mathematics, impeccability, it's the strength, it's the what I would call masculine. Love is the swirling, flowing, feminine. But these two things, these two energies exist within us. One is the logical, the mind. The other one is the love, it's the heart. So it's literally where these, when we're talking about the chakras, it's where they come together. And they come through the throat chakra, where we get to say to the world, I'm holy, I'm good, I'm beautiful, I'm holy, I'm playing my gig, I'm doing my jam, and I will be appreciated for it in all ways. And not from, I will, but that's just because I'm a child of God. Like, I'm designed this way. I'm a light of the world. I can't help it. Now is the time for you to share your gifts. And we're going to get to share a conversation, but now really is the time for you to share your gifts. Like, wake it up and shake it up and get audacious with yourself. And share them in a bold and audacious way, and commit to finding that thing that draws you into a greater idea of yourself. And really forgive your donkeys and let go of your donkeys. And instead look for that inner light, that shining star that wants to support you in moving forward. If you go with love, love never fails. So we're given this like no-brainer, no-fail program to follow. It never fails. There's a light within you, a light that dwells within you on this most perfect day that cannot fail. And if you connect with that, you will connect with everything. And you are deserving of that, and the world is waiting for you. And that's the news.